I've had the K1 Max for a while now, and overall I am very pleased. However, I've encountered a weird issue with ringing, also known as vertical fine artifacts, or VFAs for short, more so on the smaller prints. To start off, I did root the machine the day I got it, as you should. I have double checked that I have input shaping enabled for both X and Y axis. Without the root, the machine only runs input shaper for the X-axis and uses that value for both X and Y. Weird move from Creality. Interestingly, the X-axis is more stiff to move than the Y-axis for some reason. At one point I did grease the X-axis, and later found out that you should not, because the graphite bearing is self-lubricating. I then thoroughly cleaned the rod with acetone, checked the belt tension at least 3 times over. I then removed a whole lot from the printhead, including the springs that pushes on the upper graphite bearing, yet nothing seemed to make a difference and the lines persisted. After some time I noticed that the lines are at the same distance apart as the notches on the belt. These notches do touch flat pulleys, and I have come to the conclusion that this is my problem. Someone on Reddit suggested running the printer at higher speeds to avoid this issue. So I went up to 300 mm per second, but there were no change. I then turned the acceleration up to 10,000 and no change. Just to make sure I got up to 20,000 acceleration, but still no change. Here you can see that I have 300 mm per second for every print move, but I noticed that the print time wasn't changing with these higher speeds. I found that the slicer was in reality using 60 to 90 mm per second for the upper part of the model, and it gets up to 300 mm per second on the layers with more material. As you can see here, the lines are indeed less noticeable on the layers with higher speed. Is this because of the minimum layer time? Maybe? In Creality Print, this is called layer time and is a setting for the filament. This was at 8 seconds per layer by default, so I lowered it to 1 second, and lo and behold, now I have 300 mm per second for the whole print. And voila! The result speaks for itself. The print is now a whole lot better than before.